Hi, are you a product manager or leader and also tired of these endless prioritization discussions? Missing transparency on what goes on, slow delivery or unstructured discovery work? I'm Rainer.
And I'm Sandra. We are from the Value Rebels, and we will show you in this session today how we deal with those challenges by using what we call the Value Engine.
The Value Engine is a step-by-step process to organize discovery and delivery work for multiple product teams, to generate 10 times more value while investing 10 times less effort. We have developed the Value Engine based on our own experience and worked with it already in multiple companies to organize product departments with more than 30 teams.
The first important message is that the Value Engine is a dual-track process. This means that we do not only care about how to deal with the requirements that are already in the product backlog, but we care equally as much about how to fill the product backlog with the right things. Both tracks, discovery and delivery, run in parallel with the whole product team being responsible. Let's keep this in mind when diving into the process steps.
So, let's get into it. The Value Engine is basically a funnel. It's all about reducing the amount of things we execute that have too little business outcome. We want to elaborate many ideas in the beginning, throw away the ideas that don't work as early as possible, and only invest big coding effort into what really matters. Let's imagine we're starting with 100 ideas. We believe it should be very easy for everyone to come up with an idea. There's no need to have a full business case yet. But it's important that we have a brief and precise description of the pain or the gain of the idea. We also need to have a person defined and available that takes the lead for this initiative before we can take it into the next step, which we call selected.
Exactly. And in this step, we now need to select the ideas that we want to go on with. Let's imagine 30 ideas make it to here. There are many different ways how companies approach this prioritization work. Anyway, 3 things are important here. First, the selection of ideas needs to happen on a regular basis, ideally every week. Second, the rejected ideas need to be removed from that list. Good ideas will come back anyway. And third, please do not perfectionate this step. The target is not to improve the selection here, but rather to become faster in evaluating the potential of the ideas in the next step, which we call the draft phase. But before we start drafting, let's make sure that we have gathered a team that has all skills needed and time to work on this idea. Make sure you have balanced this trade-off between having diverse skills in the team, but still keep the team as small as possible. And do not start before everyone has time. Stop starting, start finishing.
Okay, now in the draft phase, it's all about reducing uncertainty. Let's assume the teams are capable of pulling 20 ideas into this phase. The assembled cross-department team now needs to figure out if the idea is valuable. Is it something that matches the demand? Usable? Will people figure out how to use it? Feasible? Can we build it with the skills we have in reasonable time? And viable? Does it also work for our stakeholders, like customer care or the legal department? So how do we draft now? There are many possible discovery methods we can use, like design sprints, simple idea workshops, storyboarding, prototyping, and so on. Whatever we use, we always consider the following sources of decision making. Does it fit to the vision and strategy? If not, let's drop the idea right here. What do our competitors do? If nobody's using it yet, maybe there's a reason for it. How many customers are affected? Deep dive into the data you have. And last but not least, let's generate qualitative insights, for example, by creating prototypes and showing them to real customers. By the end, we should have a clear concept available, our main dependencies sorted out, and the metrics defined that we will use to determine success.
And hopefully, after the draft phase, half of the ideas get killed, as they turn out not to be as valuable as others. And for the rest, we now enter what we call the hack phase. The goal here is not to create a fully viable product, but just something that allows us to see and to measure how our users behave. This can be, for example, a painted door test or a fake feature test on the website. And this phase needs to be super, super short because we don't learn anything while we're building the hack, right? And we call it actually hack on purpose because we're willing to create technical debt to get insights early and cheap. The definition of done of this hack phase is what we call a minimum measurable product.
Okay. Maybe 5 ideas do not get killed in hack and enter the ship phase by being released to a small amount of users. Here, we measure and learn how we impact our users, significantly reducing the uncertainty we had. We're willing to produce even more technical debt and improve gradually according to the user behavior. The more traffic we have on our new version, the better we can also segment into further user groups, like new users versus existing ones, mobile versus web users, and so on. The ship phase is done when we are live for 100% of the users. This is what we call an MVP.
Right. And for all ideas that made it up until here now, we have reduced the uncertainty to almost 0. The next phase is called tune. And now here we can start actually with a very informed decision if we want to invest proper engineering work to have a maintainable, extendable, secure, compliant product with an acceptable amount of technical debt, or if we kill the initiative rather late than never. If we want to go on, we also need to make sure that we do not only have a viable product, but really something our users love by further tuning the feature set. And as a result, we have developed in the end the 3 most valuable initiatives into what we call a maximum lovable product, while saving the company from making bad investments on the other 97 ideas that we have started in the beginning.
Wow, okay. But to be able to work like this, there are some preconditions necessary. Let's be honest. It's mainly a leadership task to ensure that they are met. First, we need to be able to roll out gradually. The value engine process encourages an experimentation culture, but experiments are potentially dangerous if we cannot limit their blast radius. Second, releasing needs to be easy. We need to release multiple times a day, not just once per month. And third, we need to be able to measure the impact of what we are doing, otherwise we don't even know if we create value or damage the company.
Very true. Last but not least, maybe some more operational guidelines how this funnel could look like for one team. While one initiative is in ship or tune, which can take between 1 to 4 months, the same product team might work on, let's say, 12 other ideas in draft and hack, one after each other. If you have the value engine process established as a company-wide Kanban board, for example, we recommend that roughly 70% of the team's work should be visible on this board, and the remaining 30%, which is most likely smaller topics or maintenance work, is up to the team and their individual boards.
And that's all about it.
Yep.
We would love if you leave your feedback in the comments and get in touch with us if you want to know more. Subscribe to our channel if you do not want to miss our next videos, where we will deep dive into each phase of the value engine with practical examples.
We really hope you enjoyed today's session. Thanks a lot for watching and see you soon.